Book your driving lesson now
at dla-driving.co.uk.
Sponsored by DLA Driving Schools.
Hello and welcome to Oh and the Town. What a Saturday for Luton Town and our supporters as we took our opportunities against top of the league Stockport County and completed an emphatic 3-0 win. Could have been more. Where's my normal score prediction when you need it? Game that had all for me, passion, pride being two of the things. Fantastic goalkeeping display by Josh Keeley, and for once clinical finishing when we created our openings. Stockport fans will be disappointed though, won't they? They didn't take advantage of their early opportunities, but in the end we run out, I think, deserved winners. We'll see what the guys think in a minute. We asked you guys for your questions this week and we're going to be putting those to the boys. Have your 3-word reviews as usual and we'll see where it goes. As usual, if you're looking on YouTube, back to a full house. Darren's back from Dubai, but you wouldn't know he's been. He's not that brown. And Steve and Pataro. Nice to see you guys.
Yeah, good,
hello.
mate, good.
He's got what they call a ginger tan. There we go.
A ginger tan. He's spent most of his time indoors, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it was too hot. Yeah.
I didn't mean that. Anyway, what a weekend. Look, obviously, I would normally say 3-0 the Hatters in our prediction league, and I think I'm the only one that said we'd win. Mm-hmm. And I think the display.
Yeah, got that in early, didn't he?
I had to get that in early because
look at him.
Yeah, I know. But, doesn't happen that often, does it? What I was trying to say is we go there in with hope and belief, but actually the performance was outstanding.
Yeah, it really was. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say rode our luck first 20 because you'd expect. Going to an away ground, they're top of the league. They've got good players. Undoubtedly, for this level, they've got good players. They could have got a couple in the first 20. One particular great save from Keeley to push it onto the post. But I think over the 90, it was one of our most controlled performances of the season.
Yeah, 100%.
A bit more togetherness around the team at the moment, Batara, do you think?
Wow, togetherness. I mean, look. It was more the fact of, like you say, you got a quality team in front of you, and they weren't scared. They had nothing to fear. Like you say, the first 20, Steve, were a little bit, could have gone either way. But excuse me, the fact that we managed to play decent football and to continue that football on for the whole duration of the match, which is it's fantastic to see as well. Fantastic to see, should I say? Come on, get a little bit of the start there.
Just a drink.
I thought you started, mate.
Darren, we've been hoping for a performance like that since we've changed manager. I mean, we pre-Matt Bloomfield. I can't remember anything that we've played as good as that.
We've been hoping for a performance like that since the Premier League. To be fair,
well, that's a good point. Actually, do you think that is our best performance since then? Maybe Watford at home.
Watford aside, it's got to be up there. Yeah, it's got to be up there.
It was a very complete one, wasn't it?
I think the interesting thing for me was, yes, we had the 3 wins on the bounce, but we didn't know how. The 2 cup games are the cup games, and does that really tell us anything or not?
And did they really take confidence from it? But you got to think maybe that they have.
And I think there's an element of that, and also I think when you look at I'm quite hot on looking at the team sheets beforehand and everything. Look, we know that they were missing Norwood. Wasn't it?
Yes.
And when they see that he's not on the team sheet, that's a huge lift as well because he's a hell of a player in this league.
I'll be honest, I think I saw relief on Saturday afternoon when I see the team sheet coming out. I thought, where's Norwood? I looked on the bench, he's not there. Brilliant.
He's injured, wasn't he? Was he injured?
But he must have been. I didn't see him on the bench.
I think the Stockport fans were really upset he wasn't playing. But you can't be a one... they're top of the table. They can't be a one-man team to be top of the table.
To be fair, though, Dave, he's up there. He's probably, if not, probably the best midfielder in the league, to be fair.
Yeah, I think everything goes through him.
He's ridiculously good. I mean, look, he's done it at Premier League level about 2 or 3 seasons ago.
Yeah.
And he was still playing well then, so... look, he's a championship player.
And I think it's on top of their missing a couple as well. So when you put that... And I know we have... we've had a bit of a stuttery start and... I was saying to someone the other day, when you look at the team out there and how they're playing, Bloomfield must sit there and go, well, you know, if I'd had a couple of those back or a bit more fitter or whatever, it might have been a different story. But hey ho.
Yeah, and you know, you can look at it our way as well. Clark wasn't there, and you've got to say, hands down, so far he's been the best player all season. We you know, he wasn't playing. I thought the midfield was really, really good.
It's interesting you mentioned Darren Matt Bloomfield there, because has Wilshere changed the game plan, and that is why he's getting the better amount of the players? Or
well, he's not stubborn, because as far as I could see, it was a different formation on Saturday.
Was it a flat 4-4 and then a 1-1? Was it?
No, it was definitely It was a 3. We had 3 centre halves there. For me, Naismith, Anderson, and Mengi. I almost played like a 3-4-3 for me. You know, we're saying about Jones out wide as a bit of a wing back, but it looked like a 3-4-3 to me. So that's different shape than we've played before. So it shows he's either setting up differently for different teams. He's not stuck to this rigid, I'm going to play this, and you know, that stubbornness that Edwards had for a while, and certainly Bloomfield had. You know, so I think, you know, maybe he's trying different things, and he will go from game to game, which is really refreshing if he is.
What he isn't getting away from, though, is he's putting as many players as possible in their preferred positions. Yep. You know, and you can see already that Jones is well above this division.
Great,
God,
yeah.
He's made the major difference for us, I believe, so far.
Well, let's look at your 3-word reviews from the weekend. Stockport County 0, Luton Town 3. Shane says Shane says fantastic away results. Dale, a statement win. Paul, so much better. Joe, season's best performance. Paul, again, different Paul. Ted and Mengi's magic. Almost couldn't say that. Jack, Bramall's free kick. Rob, Keeley save crucial. Harry, 3 great goals. Mel, Richard's different gravy. And Jamie and many others. Luton are back.
Let's not get carried away, people.
Well, do you want to pick one first then, Bataru?
I'm probably going to say season's best performance, because we touched obviously probably best performance since the Premier League, and it was the most complete performance that I've seen, and it was an all-round collective group performance rather than individuals. They get it wrong, like I said, obviously with Messiah Jones and Richards, absolute mustard, by the way, but altogether defensively and then going forward, the confidence was there. And there was the unity about the whole squad, which is nice to see, because we've seen it, and it's been quite frustrating.
Darren, what's your one?
I've gone with Rob. Keeley save crucial. It just felt at a time where, look, we did ride. We said about riding the storm for the first 20, but then we got on top in the first. Look, we know they're going to come at us in the second half. Rightly so, they're the home team. I think the penalty was on like 55, 56 minutes. Quite early on, isn't it? You know, if that goes in, especially with what happened with Forest Green, you know, you kind of go, a bit of squeaky bum time, you know, and will we start dropping towards our goal, and will we invite them on? You know, it was such a critical time, and a huge save, not just for Keeley himself, and that will do him the world of good. Naismith's follow-up clearance he got there first, and it was unbelievable, and the way he celebrated it was great. I just think for those players, for the team, and for that game at that moment, it was crucial. And from that penalty save, I didn't think we were ever going to go on to lose that game from that point on. We just rose above it, and I just think it was crucial to the game.
Yeah.
And finally, Steve, what's yours?
Well, I'm going to go with Luton are back ? Okay, and basically, you know, we're not yet, but what I'm saying is, whether it's not just Jack Wilshere, it's the coaches as well. You know, they've just calmed things down. They've installed a little bit of confidence. I think training is a much more enjoyable environment. It's a lot more competitive environment, the way everyone's talking about it. And, you know, it's just taken a couple of things to all settle down. You know, we've broken that toxic, you know, cycle. And, you know, we may discuss it later on, but thrilled for Tedden. You know, for him to have that moment where all the crowd was singing his name, you could see how much it meant to him. And, you know, and he's been quite standoffish in the past, and not really, but he was stood there, arms aloft like that. He was totally invested in that moment. And again, when he done that clearance, you know, you could see the desperation and the togetherness, and that's why I think what's back is spirit and togetherness.
I love what you said there, Steve, about calmed things down. You know, we know when we went to see him, but Chris Powell, you know, such a calming, measured man, and actually Jack is to a fair extent.
Yeah.
But you're right, that's what's happened. They've calmed everyone down. Just said it's going to be fine. It's just, I hate saying that, trust the process, but it just feels like that. And no, it's a good point.
Thank you very much.
Sorry, nothing
See,
more
we
to
can be nice to each other.
I know.
We just choose not to.
Wait for it. Yeah, I was going to say, a while.
One change from the Forest Green win, Anderson in for Nigel. And, I thought when the game started, Stockport had the upper hand to go with. First 20 minutes, I thought they had a few really, really good chances. The one in the middle of the box that sort of deflected to the left to Keeley.
Headed away, wasn't it?
Headed away, yeah. And then that save, you sort of briefly mentioned it, Steve, that save from Keeley, pushing it onto the post.
Yeah, that was the one. Wasn't
That was an amazing save.
Yeah, because it was like a cross-come shot, and it was a dip in. It was a horrible angle as well, and he managed to put it onto the post is what probably stopped Wootton from getting the follow-up. So, again, you get that little bit of luck. Sometimes you do, sometimes you don't. So that was great.
We've been a bit critical of him the last couple of weeks, haven't we, with Keeley and his performances and maybe decision-making. Yeah. Are you more impressed this week?
Oh, massively. I mean, look, penalty save, obviously we'll get into that, but like you say, that was a crucial save. I mean, if that goes in, you never know what happens with the head.
There were so many opportunities where it could have been a different game.
Yeah. And the things of Keeley, though, obviously, I know I mentioned last week, I think I was the one that called him out a little bit. So since he won that, Player of the Month award, he was, not being horrible, he was pretty useless, without being horrible. But no, look, I mean, that's the goalkeeper that we brought in, and we looked at the first 3-4 games of the season and went, wow, this kid's got talent.
Yeah.
But I just think he needs to calm down a little bit, but I know that'll come. So
yeah, but is he starting to feel more confident and feel better because the defenders in front of him are as well?
Back line,
again, it seemed to be that every mistake that was made was getting punished, and we didn't have a settled, back 3, 4, 5, whatever you want. I think it was a great game for Mads Anson to come into, because I don't think that they were the quickest of forward lines. It wasn't all about little Jack Russells running sort of through your legs and stuff like that. It was quite a sort of
but they're
pairs for bears. It was tall. It was aerial.
Their strikers are very tall. He brings in Mads because the guy's massive.
Yeah, and it played right into his hands, and he had a really good game.
If you're a Stockport supporter, Darren, then you're sitting there and you're going, well, we ain't put these away. If they put them away, they probably go on and get a really good result. And they're at the top of the table, they're full of confidence. And and you've said it as a Luton fan, but if you're a Stockport fan, you're sitting there going, well, if they nick one, we could get into some trouble.
It must be a Hatters thing.
Oh, yeah, I didn't think of that.
How many times do we say that as the home team? If we don't score soon, they're going to hit us on the break and get one. Yeah. We must have said it dozens of times, especially over the last couple of seasons.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, but they probably still felt fairly confident up until we scored that they were going to do all right.
Well, you check the stats, we had no shots on goal, and then suddenly, first shot on goal, and it goes in. Should we talk about that one? Bramall, I think he had a great game.
Oh, mate, since he's gone to the wide of midfield or whatever, much better.
Yeah.
Looks much better than he going forward than he does.
That's his position.
Well, yeah, this is it. Was it a left wing back role he was playing in the other day, was it? I couldn't really work it out. Honestly.
Whether it's left wing or left wing back, but when he came in, he said, "I've got an engine. I can get up and down the pitch. I can get a good cross, and I've got a half decent shot on me." Well, he showed it all, didn't he?
Yeah. I mean, he scored 2 free kicks this season as well. So,
but we've mentioned on previous pods about the amount of crosses. Bloomfield was saying, "Oh, the amount of crosses we got in," but they were just hopeful and into an area. Fanay's goal, Northampton, and this one, it was a pass into an area in front of the guy that was.
It says go score.
But that's it. You say to wingers, well, if you put the ball there, if the striker isn't there, it's not your fault. You just keep putting the ball there.
I do think he got in very easy in that position to make the cross, though. I mean, it was literally just a ball down the line. I don't think that they defended that very well at all, but we took advantage of that. That's what League One football is, I'm afraid. We've said it's not a particularly good division, and it isn't. So if we can capitalise on those opportunities,
I read some comments from Stockport fans, and if they're listening, they'll probably go along with this. But they said their 2 defenders were so slow. It's the two wing backs or two left and right backs.
Yeah.
Very, very slow, especially the guy that got sent off.
Yeah, I mean they're critical positions. If
Yeah.
you haven't got pace in those in those positions, I think you're in trouble.
I think we've shown it as well, like out wide as well. There was a couple of times I've noticed, especially obviously with the first goal as well, there was overloads as well with 2-on-1 against their fullbacks, and we've been crying out for that for how long?
Yeah.
Overloads, and there was like, there we go. There's two out wide, there's two out there. It's like, this is perfect.
Yeah.
Like the attacking midfield, like your Richards and whoever else, like tucking in. Do you know what I mean? While the wingers go out, it was perfect to see.
Yeah.
That's what we want.
Can we not take nothing away from Richards for getting into the position to score? Because he ran and made that his own, didn't
Yeah,
he?
you got to be brave sometimes, you know, and you know, you got to get. I'm not a great player, but I know you've got to try and get across the front of that defender.
Yeah.
You know, if your winger's out wide and he's looking to cross it, you've got to make the run across, chuck anything you can at it.
Yeah.
And it may just take a bit of a double ricochet or whatever it was.
The amount of times where we haven't attacked the near post, time after time after time, and now we're starting to do it, and we're reaping the rewards.
Well, it's lovely. Go on. No,
I was going to say was it was nice to see a midfielder get in the box again and score a goal.
Yeah,
we're getting more of that now.
Yeah, it's kind of, I'd argue it's the Luke Berry role, isn't it? It's the arriving late or being in Johnny on the spot sort of thing. And you know, and it's great. It's not just one player, like you said. Fanay's done it. Richards has done it. I think Wells missed one similar where.
Zach Nielsen, you can say as well at Burton.
Yeah, you know, but it's not by chance there.
No,
you know, that's off the training.
That's
ground,
it. Yeah, of course.
And it's great to see it work out.
You're in the bake-off end, as they call it, and or the bake-off tent, and 5 minutes later, Jones takes on a player, and I don't know. Let me just say, I'm going to say this, and I'll put it to, because you mentioned it first, Darren, earlier before we started. He buys that free kick, doesn't he?
I think he
sort
does.
of brings it on.
Yeah, I think he does. He's sort of going in between a couple of players, but it does look like he just leaves his right leg out there and lets the contact happen. And from the angle the ref's at, he's going to give it because it probably looks worse from his ankle than what it was. But fair play, you know. It happens all the time, doesn't it?
Yeah.
You know, I don't like it about football.
No.
But
other teams.
I can't say I've really seen much of it, to be fair. So
I have to say, I don't like it when it's against us, but I don't care if it's for us. I really don't. And, you know, I win at all costs. That's what I say.
But he had that guy on toast.
All after
He
that.
was ruining him.
There was one where I swear he gave him 8 yards head start, and he said, "I'm going to knock it down there, and I'll let you go first, and then I'm going to hound you down."
Is that when he got a booking?
Yes, the first booking.
Yeah, I had a flashback of Ogbene and Burns up at Newcastle.
Yeah.
It really was like that.
It was mental, wasn't it? He's he's one of the quickest players probably in England.
Yeah, but he seems to have the right touch and control. You know, we've seen plenty of speed merchants, but you know that's because they're busy chasing their previous touch. I mean, he seems to have decent control.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, the things of Izzy Jones, you know as well, obviously from his time at Borough, and he was regarded as one of the quickest players in the Football League, if not the quickest player. And there was always like, you know, highlights about him, how fast is this guy, blah, blah, blah. But yeah, look, massive difference. Getting him back in the team.
Yeah.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah.
Ball's placed, Bramall steps up, Steve. And I need to ask you, as a Luton Hatter, it's a brilliant strike and it's a brilliant free kick. As a Stockport Hatter, are you questioning your goalkeeper and the wall?
The wall.
Or the wall, yeah, maybe, or the wall.
Wall.
Well, I don't know. He put it sort of maybe a foot over the wall, so the wall could have jumped. But you know, surely that's down. That would have been sort of decided in training. You know what the wall actually does. But then it's gone straight over the wall. So I don't really blame the keeper because the wall is there to cover that side of it. But you know, I don't know. Were they supposed to jump? I don't know. They didn't have one of those.
I was about to say
a daft excluder. you know, but you know, maybe we should just say he's seen the fact. He's put it away. You know, it's a lovely strike. You know, and he's done it a few times now.
Yeah. It was almost Ronaldo-esque, wasn't it? A little bit. The way he steps up.
What the Ponzi skip?
Yeah, that's exactly what I meant. But look, like you say about the wall, right? I'm just going to say it now. If your wall doesn't jump, and if you set that as a tactic, why? That's what I would question, because your wall is there.
I'd only assume the goalie wants that so that he can see the ball the whole way. If they jump, he can't see it as well.
But then surely you set up your wall to like, you know, over there, so you get yourself to like across the goal to the right hand side. The wall set up on the left to the point where you can still see Yes, you leave a gap, admittedly, but you're expecting your wall to do the job, no?
Yeah, but the way he's hit the ball, it dips. It's like a knuckleball for all you baseball
I
fans.
still think if they jump, though, they head that away, though, or it goes over the bar or whatever.
Unlucky, League One football.
Oh, no, of course. Oh, Steve, I'm not causing an argument, mate. Christ.
Better not be.
He's going to fight me after this watch.
The first thing you see after we go 2 up is the camera pans on the highlights. It pans to our manager, and he's basically saying, think about it, concentrate now, do not let this slip.
You've scored 2 goals in 5 minutes, and you don't. However long that was just before half time, it's like right, you've got yourself in a great position.
Yeah,
just don't do anything silly now.
Yeah, don't concede before half time. With 5 minutes left and whatever extra time there was, don't concede, and we didn't. And so you're going at 2-0 against the league leaders. You're thinking we've rode our luck at the beginning. But now we're 2 up. We're not going to do what we did against Forest Green, are we? But it does think, because I think...
Well, it'd be in their minds. It'll only be natural it'd be in their minds.
Well, I suppose so. And then, what comes on 10 minutes into the thing.
Do you really think that, though? Because to me, I would hope and expect the player just to be totally focused on the here and now, rather than, do you remember this from, a week or so ago? I would be a little bit bemused if people were thinking about what's happened
it's
in the
probably
past
a confidence
when
thing,
they should be so concentrating so much on what's going on right in front of them.
I don't know. I think professional sportsmen are strange beings.
I think if you're beaming with confidence, though, I think if you're beaming with confidence, you probably don't worry about it too much. But I think the fact that we're having such a topsy-turvy season so far, and things have happened, it probably would be in their mind, I guess, because you got to think they're probably thinking, oh no, shit, not again.
And arguably, we don't know what Jack would say, but you kind of know Stockport are going to come out again, all guns blazing in the second half. So it's that keep it tight for 10 minutes, don't concede. I'll be amazed if those kind of words weren't said.
Yeah.
So it's in that mind of like, let's not concede, let's not do anything silly. So I think it would be there, Steve.
Yeah, maybe you would hope it would just mean, right, let's double down and really concentrate. Yeah.
And this is why it was so important that on the 55 minutes when, the one thing that Jones didn't do well was defend that ball very well. I mean, it was 100% penalty.
Yeah.
But we said earlier he just needs to stand his ground, doesn't he? And he walk and he sees him out.
Just show the player, just show him out. Get goal size, show him out. I mean, let's face it. Even if the player gets the ball, he knocks it past Jones. He's not beating him for pace. He'll stay the whole way. Oh, mate, he just runs into him like a sack of shite. It's not right.
Maybe just a little bit rusty mentally and switched on. He's been out for a while.
Yeah, he's probably like a bit of a head of steam as well. He's like, I'm playing well. I've got this, I've got that. And all of a sudden,
super keen to make sure that the guy don't get shot off. There you go.
Rush of blood, as they say.
So penalty, and then we're all fearing the worst. And come on, Steve, you don't think every time someone's having a penalty against us, we're going to save it, do you?
I seldom feel that we're going to save a penalty, particularly with some of our previous keepers. But I think Keely's agile and that, and again, got that arrogance about him. I wasn't convinced that they were going to score.
And football's is a funny old game. Hey. And am I right in saying he saved the penalty at that ground for Leighton?
I did hear that.
Yeah. Did, yeah. So these things come around, and that again, we're talking about remembering things. That'll be in his mind. I've saved the penalty here before. I'm going to do it again.
Okay.
I put it to you that people waving their hands behind the goalkeeper doesn't really help. But well done, fans, for doing that. And actually, the stretch from Keely to get the ball in the first instance was brilliant.
Yeah.
But the speed of Naismith to clear, did you see how he celebrated that clearance? Well done to him.
Oh, God, it was amazing.
It's as good. It's as good or as important as the save, because I'd imagine, I don't know the stats, but 8-9 times out of 10 it will come back straight out to the striker who then puts it back in. So to get there when the other fellas had a good few yards head start on you, it's sensational from.
And the fact that he made his mind up, it looked like he made his mind up way before the penalty was even struck anyway. Because you look at him as well, he has a little shuffle. He goes along the line, he has a little shuffle to the right, and all of a sudden a step across again. And he takes it.
Yeah, I mean, Naismith sprinted as soon as the penalty was taken. He was on his toes, and it was great because you got the initial cheer for the penalty save. Then there's that moment's silence, and then there was the quick clearance. And as you say, the way Naismith celebrated,
it's like he scored a goal.
Yeah, it was like he scored a goal, and it's as good as that.
And it was his wrong foot.
It was.
He cleared it with his right foot, didn't he?
Yeah.
And he cleared it way out of the way, you know.
Hang on, a footballer not be able to use their weaker foot. So, mate, every
Not on
footballer
your
should be able to
shift.
use their weaker foot. I'm just going to say it now. Sorry. Even at League One level. Just saying, boys.
Yeah.
So at this point, I'm thinking now we're going to push on. We're not going to let this one go. They're going to be a bit demoralised. And on sort of 69 minutes, 70 minutes, we have I think it's a brilliant dummy from Richards to turn that guy inside out on the far right there.
Yeah.
And then the sublime pass.
Everything about it was absolutely.
I've used the word sublime first
beautiful.
time this week.
Yeah.
Go for it.
But no, like you say, Dave, that little dummy as well down the right-hand side. The little drop of the shoulder, bang, in behind.
Just left him for dead, right?
Yeah, and then all of a sudden, it's just the movement, the running from Jones, the outside of the boot pass, the weight, everything about it.
Delightful, wasn't it?
Yeah. I mean, the defender wasn't right up Richards' back. That, you know, there was a bit of a gap, but he completely bought it. He was still waiting for the receipt when Richards was off. But you know, again, the advanced running. You know, Richards, young lad, one for the future, yes, but you know, here and now as well.
I knew he was going to drop that one.
I can't give my same response, can I?
No, exactly. But you know, he was composed. Jones sort of pointed to him, almost Rendell-esque against Norwich. You know, he said, "Put it in there." You know, casually outstep of the boot, and you know, just perfectly into his path as well. You know, it's that freedom and sort of not being anxious that's meant that a perfect pass has been played, and then you know Jones is nice and composed and just swept it.
It's going to sound like a weird comparison, right? But it almost reminded me the other day, Richards, the way he performed was like Mesut Ozil back in the Premier League when he was in his prime. Everyone remembers him. Absolutely, first class, beautiful.
And you've got to remember, this guy's only 18. It might have been one for the future, but actually he's 18. If you're good enough, you're in the team, right?
Well, yeah, exactly.
And he's really impressed when he's got his chance. He's really, really impressed, and you can see why we took him on.
But but he's got a lot of things to his game. You know, he's making good runs. He's got skill, but he also can put attack.
He makes the right decision, doesn't he? As well.
That's right. He just seems to be a really level-headed, good midfielder. You know, it'd be great to see him over the next sort of few years.
And again, you know, I know when I spoke to Wilshere, and he said when Wilshere came in, he was like, you know, rubbing his hands together. Richards must have been the same. Yeah. You know, and he just must be buzzing to be playing for him.
Exactly. I would like to quickly say about Wilshere as well, because obviously we had Clark out. Wilshere was really quite significantly, you know, looking to control, you know, the midfield, orchestrate it, and you know, sort of receive passes, make passes. So again, I thought Wilshere came in and stepped up beautifully on that.
We didn't even mention the chance that Wells had in the first half to put us 3-0 up.
Yeah. Was that when he went through bearing down a goal and then the goalkeeper saved it? That one?
So for me, he puts that down to his right. By the post, he scores.
It's easy to say that. Look,
well, it is easy to say that because that's where it should have gone, right? Although they would you would argue that other managers said put it across the goalkeeper, but he had it at a good height to save.
Yeah, no, he did. The only thing is, I would say,
I'm not knocking him, by the way. I thought he had a good game.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, but he could have took another touch as well. Absolutely levered it, but.
Yeah, and
I don't blame him for going across the goal. I just don't think he caught it well enough.
And they say about the strikers playing off confidence, and look, him and Yates got a couple of goals in the cup games and whatever. And so you're thinking, right, you've got that confidence now. You're through and goal. Yeah. We were 2 up at the time. You're thinking, right, go and blaze that in and get the game done by half time. And so it was a bit of a strange strike from him at that stage.
As you said, Dave, if he'd have put that down low to the keeper's left,
it's a goal.
I think it'd have been past him before he'd have had a chance to
goal. 3-0. And loving it. You know, I don't really need to mention it, but you know, the send-off was a bit stupid from Dodson. You don't pull a player back by his shirt when you're on a yellow.
On the yellow with a couple of minutes to go and 3-0 down.
It's like, what's the point?
But we were saying, Steve, beforehand, too often we don't get at fullbacks when they're on bookings. Yeah. We don't get them sent off, and you know, it was it was late on, but it was refreshing to see that.
Yeah, and as a result of that, I think that last 10 minutes was the most comfortable and in control that we've been for a while. We just passed the ball around. You know, they just couldn't get near us the last 10. It was a stroll in the park, and it was all, again, Mads Anderson quite a few times was just, like that, passing the ball. We kept the ball moving, and they just couldn't get near it, really.
And we could have had another one, couldn't we? Al-Hamidi.
Yeah.
I think you were saying, Dave.
Square it to the left.
Should have probably. Look, he hasn't played for ages and wants a goal, doesn't he? But he should have squared that. He should have squared that to Yates.
Yeah, Yates scores. And it would have been icing. It would have been icing on the cake, but it was already done, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
We mentioned at the very beginning, final word, Mengi, that last minute tackle.
Yeah.
Got the best cheer.
Yeah. To me, it was just fantastic. After the disgusting vileness of the previous week, it was just nice. And the fact that, he sort of celebrated that tackle so much and the fans were, but other players as well were sort of, roughing him up and that, and me particularly has labelled him as someone that just doesn't care. And it certainly has seemed that way, that, the way he's played before. But at the moment, he seems fully invested, and he seemed to really enjoy it. And so he had that moment with the fans at the end, and a few of them gave their shirts in. A good Ted Mengi, again, is well above this level. And, I think we've said if he does want to move to a high level, that's fine. We understand that everyone wants to, get better. But you've got to play well and show what a leader you are. Because he was a leader for us in the Premier League.
Yeah.
He was an absolute beast.
Yeah.
But it was great that he had that moment, and hopefully, things will just carry on with him.
Look, it might be a strange thing to say, but maybe he was like, maybe a little bit low on confidence himself.
Could well have been.
Maybe it was what we took it as, maybe like a bit of arrogance, or he didn't want to, compete for the team. But you never know what he's going for. It might have been a thing of like the injuries have absolutely done him in, didn't work out, and obviously things got to him, and then all of a sudden it looked like he was so depleted of any confidence.
Yeah.
It might have been that. Look, we don't know, but
yeah,
it's good to see the last 3, 4, 5 games. He's looking like his old self again.
Yeah,
team confidence is really high. Manager's confidence must be getting better, and you can understand why.
And Chris Powell dancing around like a lunatic at the end.
Absolutely.
But isn't it great to see a new member of staff and someone who, long in the tooth within the game of football, how enthusiastic he is about it. You could see he was loving it. And that can only rub off and be a positive thing.
Yeah. I love the picture at the end when he's sitting there and he's like crouching down, screaming to himself. I love that.
Yeah.
So you can understand then why we didn't call off our game, because we could have done for the international break. So Rotherham next, and we're hoping that the form continues and we get another 3 points. And if you think we win this game in hand, we're just 3 points off the top. It's crazy.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
With the season that we've had. But it just goes to show that, look, Bradford had their moments, Stockport have had their moments, and maybe we're coming into our moment.
Haven't Bradford drawn 4 on the trot and then lost one?
Something like that, yeah. I mean, look, to be fair though, if you look at, obviously, you say that obviously we're only a certain amount of points off top, etc. But at the same time, the wins this season for us, is it 7 now, I believe? I think top of the table is only 8. So we're matching.
Yeah, because we lost 6, I think it is.
Yeah, it's because of the losses. I mean, you turn a couple of those losses into draws, you're up there. So I'm saying it's a weird one.
It's still a long way to go.
We've had a good few clean sheets as well,
Yeah.
But the goal difference though is weird. Was it +3?
Yeah.
Nobody's got a great goal difference.
It just seems that we're building momentum and spirit and togetherness. And, again, we've all said it. If that can continue over 5 or 6 weeks, we're going to be difficult to stop.
There's 30 games left
if it carries on in that vein.
Yeah, I'm so glad they are playing the game. I think it's definitely the right decision.
Well, let's hope 3 more points come from that. Let's move on. I'm just really pleased. 3 points. It was a perfect weekend, really.
Yeah.
But then, Jacob being Jacob said to all our listeners and viewers, what questions do you want to ask us, lads? So we've got a list of questions here. We'll go through them with you. Let's go with Ed first of all. Most memorable town goal of all time. Now, that's difficult because I think of all time is a very difficult thing to put out there.
Within our time. So you can go back to the Joe Payne era.
Long time.
Well, you see, I have a couple, and it's difficult to say of all time for me. There's clearly the Ricky Hill goal at Villa Park for the FA Cup semi-final was glorious because it was the goal that should have won the game, in my view. But Ricky Hill. And then I've got one that David Moss scored against Sheffield Wednesday, which always sticks in my mind. When he runs through practically most of the team, and then just puts it all the way in top right corner at the Kenilworth Road end. And it was the goal of the week in the Shoot magazine when I was a kid, so I remember that figure. But then you've got Brian Steen's last minute goal, and then you've got Jordan Clark at Wembley. How can you just pick one? Good luck, boys.
Well, we've been asked to. Well, for me, it is, and I quote, and it's Grimes quickly outside there, Steen. The winner. It has to be that one for me.
And does it finish like that, Steve, the commentary?
No, then he gets really enthusiastic, and I really am going to copy his enthusiasm. And Luton are ahead, and that was it.
In the very last minute.
Yeah, I know, but the enthusiasm, it's like ordering a bloody bag of crisps.
I think you can't. Excited than
You cannot knock Brian Moore as a commentator.
Did.
It was a fantastic day.
Yeah.
But Tara, you're going to come back up to the last week or something, knowing you.
As far as his memory will go.
I was going to say, I was just about to say that. I can't remember much, to be fair. Do you know what? I was going to say something like stupid, like Jamie Hand's volley in a conference, but yeah. Everyone was like, who? Yeah. Don't remember it, do you?
No.
Yeah, exactly.
Come on then, give us your goal.
I genuinely don't know. There's not a single goal that stands out for me, really. Apart from obviously Wembley. But yeah, I can't. I'll be honest. I think Tom Lockyer's goal in the semi-final, the header.
Yeah.
I
Well,
think
that's
for
a good
me,
call.
I think that for me was probably the one, and I was a bit like, oh my god.
It was an immense night, and
Yeah.
that was probably one of the highlights.
And I
of
think,
it.
the atmosphere, everything that was going on, like the tension, and obviously the game previous to that, I think we lost up in Sunderland.
Yeah.
And it was almost like a sigh of relief, but oh my God, this could happen, you know what I mean? This is it.
I mean, that really was a super exciting moment. Yeah, that's a decent shout.
I think
mate.
maybe that for me, to be fair.
So, Darren.
I think mine goes back a little bit, not quite as far back as yours. I think when you try and put everything together, I think of the age I was, the type of football. It was terracing back then, so we were at home. The muddy pitch, and I'll go to 1994 and Scott Oakes' third goal.
Yeah, that's when I was born.
I was 14. I was stood at the back of the Kenilworth Road end. It was when yes.
Try not to think of Darren as a 14-year-old and do that with your eyes.
But I just think the whole thing. We were on this FA Cup run. I think they were in the division above. They were in the division above us, weren't they? Nobody gave us a hope, and he dug it out from the halfway line at that muddy pitch against Dan Potts' dad. If I'm right, Steve Potts.
Because Potts just there you go.
And then he had to work so hard to keep that ball moving in the mud.
Yeah.
And I mean, I'm sure, we all know, I'm sure, I couldn't see a thing, but I knew that had gone in.
Yeah.
And when I came up out of the crowd, I was halfway down the Kenny, you're trying to find your mates. And I just think the whole thing, for me, it was just an experience, and it's just one that I remember very fondly.
And that came off the back of a 0-0 at their place.
Yes.
Which was rather tense, if I can say that, when I was there.
And then I should know, was Newcastle before that or after that?
It was before.
Newcastle.
It was before.
So was the West Ham one set us up for the semi-final? Yeah. So
and again, Oakes' second goal against Newcastle, where Des Linton sort of just passed
and you're
into
screaming,
him.
Don't shoot, and he squared it. Yeah, brilliant. So
I mean, that was some cup run.
Yeah, and it was just great moments. Of course, as he said, for moments, Clark's goal, is so important and everything else. But memories and the feel.
Yeah.
Scott Oakes for me.
Yeah.
Well, let's hear what you think yours were. If you leave some comments underneath, what was your most memorable goal for Luton Town? And Ed, if you're watching, put yours in too, because we'd like to know. There's so many to choose from, and if you've thought about it longer, you could probably pull out loads more.
Even Claude Napper at Wembley as well. I mean, I go back to that.
Yeah.
Obviously, I know it's like maybe a bit of a significance, but maybe not at the time, obviously, as we got relegated.
It was important at the time.
But this is it. I mean, this is probably when that trophy, which now is it the Virtue Crappy Trophy.
Yeah, that's what we call it.
You won't say that when we win it this season.
Yeah, but look, it used to mean a lot more back then, didn't it? Let's face it. But no, I go back to that goal as well.
Well, it did to us because of the circumstances we were in. And the crap that Mulwiney got.
Winnie the Pooh.
Yeah, terrible thing. Dave says, how excited are you for Power Court? Does it feel like it's getting real? Personally, I can't wait to drive past and see the skeleton. That'll be exciting. Are we getting more excited by it?
No, I don't want to go.
What?
I don't want to go there.
Why not?
I don't want to go.
I'm not excited by it yet because
I'm going to miss it. I'm going to miss Luton. I miss like Kenilworth Road. That is Luton to me.
Right.
Yeah, I'm
just gonna say-
I've literally got it written down here. Not really at the moment. It's all
I
about.
can't.
but
I genuinely can't wait. I can't wait to see those pylons go in and the stands start to go up. And we're not that far away from it.
No,
Well, I
exactly.
think it's close to you lot, then.
Once we start seeing it, then there's people might sort of think differently. But
Well, it's happening. So why can't you get excited about it happening?
because I love Kenilworth Road.
Yeah.
The thing is,
Yeah,
like,
but you've
Dave,
got to get over the fact.
Yeah,
Look,
no,
these
Dave. At
stadiums-
the moment, it's
I-
just a ploughed field. At the moment,
Are
Not
we,
even that, is
David,
it?
Are we going to stand on that terrace at home on our last game? There's going to be a tear or two. I'm sure.
like a tier or two.
I'm not going to leave.
I've got a breakdown.
yeah.
Because there's so many memories and loads more than me for me because I'm older than you three. But
But
it's
it-
true.
but
It's,
also
you have
you-
all
you-
your family members are there.
That's exactly
and you
it,
can't
Dave,
take them in. But look at the other teams that have done it.
For me, like that, like with my dad,
Yeah.
who's not around anymore, and you sort of, that goes. But then, of course, then I take my sons, and I want them to have that experience from me in the new ground and things like that. So, but am I? No, it's about the football at the moment. The stadium's 2 years away. Of course, it's nice and everything, but I'm not thinking about the ground at the
Yeah,
moment.
every single fan has got so many memories, going back generations in their family, and it's going to be a hard time when we do leave there. Yes, we are going to be excited, but as I say, at the moment, it's just a
gonna be
pretty
I mean,
muddy
look,
field.
It's going to be a nightmare getting all the seats together.
5
isn't it?
o'clock on a Saturday. 5 o'clock on a Saturday. We're not be able to no longer walk past the fruit stands at Bury Park. I'm very disappointed about that.
Well, you could always go that way.
Just take a
Bataro.
detour.
You can walk up from Power
walk-
Court
walk
through
another
Bury
20
Park and get
minutes.
the bus there. Just take a little bit longer.
Probably quicker, to be
let's,
fair.
let's have another one before we finish. Kev, why do you think Wilshere has established a greater squad togetherness and connection with the fan base in a matter of weeks than Bloomfield did in 8 months?
Can I just say on this one as well, right? I think it helps with about 5 players coming back from injury as well. I think that really does help. I'm not saying he hasn't made a difference. I think like there is an element of confidence that comes from your obviously Powell's and obviously Wilshere where they talk, but I feel like he has almost. I'm not saying that it's solely down to the fact that everyone's come back from injury, but I think it's played a massive difference.
Any other thoughts?
For me, it is the fact that chain of toxicity was broken. I think the employing of Powell was a bit of genius.
Yeah, 100%.
Because as Mr. Sweet said, it enabled us to then go for a more inexperienced, because he's got like a mentor figure, which I think is key. And then that was broken. I think all the players were looking for that fresh start, that different view, and I think that's what's done it.
I think there's. I might sound really bad saying this, but people called Bloomfield the PE teacher and everything else, and again that is harsh. But Wilshere walks in the door and he gets respect straight away.
Yeah.
Chris Powell walks in the door and gets respect straight away. We're talking about a Mengi, Izzy Jones, who and quite rightly believe they should be playing at a higher level. And they probably look at Bloomfield and go, well, how have you been there and done it? And
Yeah.
whatever. Jack Wilshere's been there and done it. They're gonna, and I know it's awful to say, but they're gonna respect Wilshere more than they're gonna respect Bloomfield. I think it's just a matter of fact.
And I think we alluded to the other week, didn't we, as well?
Yeah,
when he came in.
So I think instantly they walk in the door and get that respect, and people want to work and play with them because they're gonna make them better.
And I would suggest that Chris Powell is also really articulate, and with regards to getting a point over, and these young players, he'll probably be able to give them an example from his career for whatever scenario they're talking about at that time. And again, I think if people can relate to him, and he probably comes across really, really well, I think it makes it so much easier.
Yeah, and like you say, I think it helps as well. So like we said, we met them the other week, and I think all the coaches, the backroom staff, managers, Powell, Wilshere, whoever, all had a touch of almost a bit more about their personality as well.
Yeah.
Like they had something about them. There was not a single person within that staff a staffing team that you looked at and went, they're a bit dull. They're all buzzing. They all had like an element of.
Oh, I mean,
like,
Dave Bridges, you know, had a real good crack.
Yeah, fantastic, by the way.
And Tim Cochran, you know, he was great. And again, this is a guy that's been at Arsenal for years and years and years. Going to walk in the door, and it's not like, oh, what have you done? Oh, this guy's been at Arsenal for 20 plus years.
Yeah,
you know, I respect you. Can we remember the name of Bloomfield's assistants?
No.
And that speaks volumes.
Yep.
Wow. Talking of videos, Scenes from Hat will be coming out soon, and our 2 interviews with our management team will be out available in the next 7 days, I hope. And there'll be some questions on there that you've heard the answers to before, but there's a couple of other questions that you probably haven't. So we'll see how that goes. So look out for that. Jake will tell us when it's coming out. You look on our socials, you'll find that out too. If you've got any other questions you want for us, just buzz them over on social media. If you haven't already, I know it's a bit late to ask, but if you haven't liked and subscribed already on YouTube, please do that. If you're on Spotify as usual, or any other listening subject, get on over to YouTube, say hello and leave us a message. Rotherham game at home, we haven't done our predictions. So I'm going to be last because I want to see what you're not going to say. And I'm going to
We know what you're going for, Dave.
You don't know what I'm going for.
3-0.
Patara, your turn.
I'm going to go for a 2-0 win.
Okay. Darren.
Sorry.
Oh, he's drinking.
Sorry, I nearly burped.
Okay.
I'll be honest, I nearly burped, so I would say.
That'd have been funny.
I was going to say 2-0 Luton.
Oh, well, there you go,
Steve.
Steve.
2-1 Luton.
God. Are you ready for this?
3-0.
No, I reckon we're going to get a really good game, and I reckon we're going to go for it. And I reckon, watch this space.
4-3.
4-1.
Ooh.
Wow.
I'm confident. Confident Dave rather than pessimistic Dave.
Christ, Dave. Mate, get them like inflatable balloons off your shoulders, mate. Come back down with you.
I think you'll find I'm top of the league. Anyway, at the end of that, thank you very much for watching.
When he's winning.
Yeah, I only sing when I'm winning because, to be honest, it's more luck than judgment, let's be fair.
We'll see you in May, Dave, don't worry.
Yeah, thank you for listening, thank you for watching, thank you for subscribing, and we'll see you all again next week. Take
Thank
care.
you, everyone.
See you guys.